much. All right, thank you. And first of all, as somebody with an eye for events, as a past wedding planner, a big round of applause for Nitin, Elevate, Ali, and Ben. This event was very well done, seamless. They also paid an invoice on rock, paper, coin, which I loved. So thank you. My name's Elizabeth, as Ben said, and I was a past wedding planner. And at the wedding planning company, together with my sister-in-law that we had and is still in operation today, we saw a big hole in the market where we were having to wait about 14 days from a time that we sent a client a contract for them to complete the contract and send us a check to make the payment. It was very fragmented. So we wanted to build software that would streamline that service a little bit more for us. So we are a payments company, and we are two wedding planners that started a payments company. And we are first-time founders in this space, and it has been quite a wild ride. So we have raised just about 5.5 million, and I say that because we just closed a little bit of money yesterday, which was amazing. We have about 10, thank you. And we have about 10 employees right now. 70% are women. We are a small but mighty team, and 6 of those employees are based here in Portland. So we've had significant growth over the last couple of years. We launched at the end of 2019, and we've been very, very lucky to have our expertise in the network, but we've also been extra lucky to land amazing investors that have allowed us to grow at such a substantial rate over the last couple of years. So last month, we hit profitability for the first time, and it was a big unlock. And I'll get to why Elevate has just been such an amazing partner for us. But Nitin told me something in October of 2023. And we were going through a fairly challenging time at our company where we saw that we were not going to go out and we were not going to raise because it was not going to be favorable and it was going to be incredibly hard taking my eye off the company. And those are things that we just didn't want to do. Nitin said, listen, you just need to survive to thrive. And looking back now and knowing where we are today, that statement has been so incredibly true and transformative for our company. Nitin was not grow at all cost. And that to me showed that he actually cared about us as people and about the business as well, because now we are in a place where we are putting up phenomenal numbers. We are growing and we are profitable and our back is against the wall. And that is because of Nitin. And we are very, very excited about what we're building and where we're headed. So what we do, so we are B2B, we sell to businesses in the wedding space. So if you're a florist, a caterer, a cake baker, you would sign up on Rock, Paper, Coin and you would send out your contracts and invoices to the couples that are wanting to book you. And it seems absolutely wild that this didn't exist, but it didn't. And so we really wanted to take our expertise in the industry and create a streamlined workflow for the back end of businesses. So we're saving them time, we're saving them money, we are transforming how they operate their business. A lot of businesses in the event space, they are maybe 1 to 3 operators, very small teams, and they're outsourcing a lot of the work. And so what we're able to do is we're able to take off that workload from them or from the outsourced partner, and they're able to streamline it on our platform. So we have a product market fit. We knew what we were building because we needed it at our own company. There's an industry term called dog fooding, where you essentially eat dog food. It's your own product. All of the wedding planners at our planning company, they had to use our product prior to launch, and they still have to do that today. They are our first line of defense. So every time that we roll out a new piece of our product or new piece of the software, the planning company is our first line of defense. We have a 94% subscription renewal rate, which is phenomenal for being a 3-year-old SaaS company. We're extremely lucky that we have found product market fit because of our industry expertise. But what we weren't experts in was the money side of starting a SaaS company and the software side of it. And this is really where our partnership with Elevate changed the trajectory of our company. We started our relationship with the Elevate probably a year before the actual investment was made. And I had come through to know Nitin through Ty. And it was through the diligence with Ty that I realized I was like, oh my God, I know nothing. I was a fish out of water in that diligence call with Ty in 2022. Nora and I, my co-founder and I, we were presenting together. And it was through this whole experience that I realized that Nitin was going to be an excellent partner for us. He made warm introductions, he believed in us, and he showed up time and time again. Nitin has since Elevate has since been our largest investor and one of our biggest cheerleaders. And we took in their money at kind of August of 2023, closed the round October of 2023. And you can see that we doubled and that we are going to be doubling almost again. And that money is still hard at work and it's still in the bank. So we're super excited just to be on this path and blazing our own trail in an industry that really is, there's not a whole lot of companies in the wedding space that get VC funding because it's seen as kind of like a nice to have. It's weddings, it's fluffy, doesn't get a whole lot of respect. But Nitin saw that opportunity with us, and we are very excited to be taking market share. And so with that, I'll open it up for any questions. And just again, thank you so much for having me.
We have time for a few questions. I think you actually meant 2022, not 2023, when our first investment came in.
Yes, I met you in 2022.
Yeah. Anybody, can you talk a little bit more about working through some of the challenges? As you said, last year in the fall was a challenging time, and maybe the support that you got, but also getting over the hump of actually making decisions?
Yeah. So we were going to run out of money. And it was like very clear to everybody in the room and on the board that if we didn't slow our spending, or if we closed our money and we started hiring and we made some really good hires, we made some really key hires, we made also too many hires. And it was through essentially people in this room that were sitting on our board that said, hey, listen, we need to look at what's coming ahead. You don't want to go out and raise an A right now, then you're going to need to make some drastic changes in your business. And it was an incredibly challenging time because, as Ali put it, the last thing we wanted to do was to walk off a cliff. And we had to cement one foot outside of a grave and make some really hard decisions. And it was through kind of that grit and perseverance that we made hard decisions. And I think anybody in this room would attest who's a founder, like you have the ups and downs. And I am just now crawling out of a down, and I am now crawling on an up. And it feels really good to be here, but it's also was still so recent and that it's still very raw. And I had to make such hard decisions. I think one of the things that really stuck with me through essentially what was Q4 was that at the end of the day, the people that were on our board actually cared more about me and our well-being, which in return, when I started actually taking care of myself and showing up for myself than I was showing up for the company, and the company was continuing to do better. You are only going to be as good as your company's only going to be as good as you are. So it's taking that time to really like understand and take care of myself in a very dark time to make better business decisions. And getting to the profitability mark was extremely challenging. And I'm so glad that I'm scrappy and I fought for it, because I can see without a co-founder how it's really easy. It's really easy for companies to fail. That's the easy thing to do, honestly. And it's super hard, but I'm glad that I have a co-founder. And I think a lot of the teams here today also have co-founders, because you constantly are pulling each other up. When one's up, the other's down. When one's down, the other's up. And having the unlock of profitability and having our back off the wall and more money in the bank now every month, and we are getting into our busy season, boy, are we super excited for what's to come now in Q2 and Q3. It's very exciting for us as founders to finally feel like we have this profitable company, and we're so excited to now run the profitable business. Yeah. Yeah. Great question. So as we were non-technical founders, and how did we come to build software? We were very lucky in that this entrepreneur community in Oregon is very giving past entrepreneurs, current entrepreneurs, like exited entrepreneurs. So in our first year, we essentially met with anybody that had a heartbeat that was willing to talk to us, like truly anybody. And it was through that we ended up meeting somebody that recommended a development shop here in Portland. We started building in 2019, and then during COVID, they closed their doors. And with their permissions, we hired their team that was working on our product. And to go from managing wedding planners, and then I switched over and I started managing a team of 3 engineers. I had no clue what I was doing. They kept on calling me a scrum master. I was like, what is that? Like, I don't even know what that is. And it took so much education and so much nighttime reading to really understand what it was going to be that I needed to give to them, which ultimately was I needed to hire somebody that could be the intermediary between me and them. And so I have become very knowledgeable about the tech side of the business now, enough to be dangerous, especially with a mic. But what I have understood is that hiring people that can have the technical mindset, but also communicate in a non-technical manner is worth their weight in gold. And I was so incredibly lucky to find that in our product manager. Yeah.
Hi, Elizabeth. Great presentation. This is a totally different question. So I always love finding market signal in strange places. So you are expert in the wedding industry. I'd love to hear more about, what you've seen in the trends of, let's say it past 4 years, or, let's say 4 years. How are people marrying? How are they spending? Are they marrying more? And what tea leaves can we derive from these trends?
The industry is fascinating. To give you an idea, in 2019, our planning company, the average budget was around $80,000 for a couple that was getting married. Today, it's $150,000. And that's the average. And there is so much money being deployed in this industry that is being untapped. And we're the first company to monetize the payments in the wedding space. And so we have a lot of eyes on us, and it's very fascinating to watch the trends. Of course, on the coastal, parts of the country, the budgets are a little bit larger, but the weddings are becoming experiences. They are weekends long. You're having Thursday events and Friday events and Saturday events and Sunday events. And I'm sure we've all been to them. Like, you are going and it's like an immersive experience. And this year, I share this because I find it hysterical and interesting. The number one trend we're seeing is that couples are sending out style guides for the events at their weddings, which just goes to show you this is a curated, immersive experience where on Thursday you're wearing florals, on Friday you're wearing pastels, and on Saturday you're in black and white or whatever it is. But these trends, and I think social media has done this to the industry as well, is that these trends of completely curated events, and it has become a huge industry. Like, truly, it's expected to double by 2030. It's currently an $80 billion industry, and it's going to double by 2030. And I think that COVID, if anything, showed us, COVID shut down the industry, but there were still people getting married. They were getting married on Zoom. They were picking up, florals from front porches of florists that sat out for 24 hours. And so, what is it? Death, tax, and weddings. Like, those are the things that happen. And this industry is just going to continue to get bigger and bigger.
Excellent. Let's give Elizabeth a round of applause.